Okay, this is video 2 of our Blood and ZEAL rules breakdown. The first one was for the Goremongers. I'm going to have to upload that one because I noticed that the quality for the slides was terrible. I have no idea why, but it was. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Yeah, so here we go. Let's have a look. So Sanctifiers, we've got, it's 11 operatives. So you've got one Sanctifier Confessor, one Sanctifier Cherub, and then 9 from the following list of the. Oh, this is going to be fun trying to pronounce these things. Conflagurator, Death Cult Assassin, Drill Abbot. I think this is Miracultist or Miraculist. I'm going to go with Miraculist. The Persecutor, Preacher, Reliquant, and Salvationist. Now, I've missed one here because the missionary was just too much to fit on one slide. So, and then you've got missionary with one of the following options: the Ministorum Flamer, Brazier of Holy Fire, or Ministorum Flamer and the Gun Butt and Holy Relic. Or missionary with the following options: Melter Gun, Chainsword, Holy Relic, Plasma Gun, Chainsword, Brazier of Holy Fire. So, other than the Preacher operatives, your kill team can only include each operative above and on the first page once. Your kill team can only include up to 4 Preacher operatives, and you cannot select an option that includes a Brazier of Holy Fire more than once per battle. Now, I noticed that in the box you could make one of the minis, so the missionary. There's one build option, which is the missionary with the melter gun, plasma gun, and then there's another completely separate one that is just for the flamer. And the Brazier of Holy Fire there's only one piece in there, so you've got to pick who's going to be holding that one. So for archetypes, you've got Security and Seek and Destroy. And then faction rules, so Ministorum Sermon, Strategic Gambit, select one friendly Sanctifier operative. If a friendly Confessor operative hasn't been incapacitated, you must select it. Until you use this Strategic Gambit again during the battle, that operative has the Orator keyword. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative is within 3 inches of a friendly Orator operative, or 6 if the Orator is a Confessor, that friendly Sanctifier operative is benefiting from the sermon. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative is activated within 3 inches of a friendly Orator operative, or 6 if the Orator is a Confessor, that friendly Sanctifier operative is benefiting from the sermon until the end of that activation, i.e. even if it then moves more than the distance requirement from the Orator operative. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative is benefiting from the sermon, normal and critical damage of 3 or more, my spelling's terrible there, inflicts 1 less damage on it. So I typed these up quite quickly, very brain dead while I was doing it as well. So I'm expecting I've probably got some spelling mistakes in here. And also, so wordy, so wordy that even me saying out loud, hardly any of it makes sense to me. But it's there on screen for you. I'm sure you can see the obvious mistakes if they're there. So, still in faction rules, we've got Blaze. Some weapons in this team's rules have the Blaze weapons rule below. Blaze, if you retain any critical successes, the operative this weapon is being used against gains 1 of your Blaze tokens, if it doesn't already have one. Whenever an operative that has 1 of your Blaze tokens is activated, inflict D3 damage on it. Then, that operative's controlling player selects one of the following. Roll 1d6, on a free up, remove that token. Or they can subtract 1 from the operative's APL stat until the end of that activation to remove the token. Another spelling mistake there. Strategic ploys. The Emperor protects. Whenever an operative is shooting a friendly Sanctifier operative that's benefiting from the sermon, you can reroll any of your defense dice results of 1 result, e.g. all results of 2. And then a Fervent Brawl. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative that's benefiting from the sermon is fighting or retaliating, its melee weapons have the ceaseless weapon rule. Ignore the C equals, I don't know where that came from, as I said, typed very quickly, and I'm knackered. So in even I've just noticed there, look, strategy ploys. I should say strategic ploys. Zealous Persecution. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative is fighting during an activation in which it's performed the charge action, its melee weapons have the lethal 5-up weapon roll. And then Rally the Flock. Each friendly Sanctifier operative, excluding the Orator, that's benefiting from the sermon can immediately perform a free dash or fallback action. For the latter, it cannot move more than 3 inches. Each that does so must end that move closer to a friendly Orator operative. You cannot use this ploy during the first turning point. On to firefight ploys. Let's see how many spell mystics are in here. So we have Rosarius. Use this firefight ploy when an attack dice inflicts normal damage on a friendly Sanctifier operative. Ignore that inflicted damage. And then Ardent Eradication. Use this firefight ploy after rolling your attack dice for a friendly Sanctifier operative. If it's shooting against or fighting against an enemy operative that's within 3 inches of a friendly Orator operative, 6 inches if that Orator is a Confessor, you can reroll any of your attack dice. Redeemed through fire. Use this firefight ploy when a friendly Sanctifier operative that has a weapon with the blaze weapon roll is incapacitated. Each enemy operative visible and within 2 inches of it gains 1 of your blaze tokens, if it doesn't already have one. And then we have Unwavering Devotion. Use this firefight ploy when a friendly Sanctifier Orator or Sanctifier Miraculous, we're going with Miraculous, yeah, operative is selected as a valid target of a shoot action or to fight against during the fight action. Select one friendly Sanctifier operative, excluding Confessor, Miraculous, and Orator, visible to and within 3 inches of that first friendly operative to become the valid target or to be fought against as appropriate instead, even if it wouldn't normally be valid for this. If it's the fight action, treat that other operative as being within the fighting operative's control range for the duration of that action. This ploy has no effect if it's the shoot action and the weapon has the blast or torrent weapon roll. You see what I mean by wordy? That Unwavering Devotion, I already completely forgot what it said. So feel free to reread that multiple times until it makes sense. I'm sure it does make sense, but it's just words to me at this point. Faction equipment. Sanctification Orbs. Once per turning point, one friendly Sanctifier operative, excluding the Cherub, Death Cult Assassin, and Miraculous, can perform the following unique action. Select one enemy operative visible to and within 6 inches of this operative. That operative and each other enemy operative within 1 inch of it takes a doused test. For the operative to take a doused test, roll 1d6 on a 3+, it gains 1 of your doused tokens. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative is shooting against an operative that has 1 of your doused tokens with a weapon that has the blazed weapon rule, that weapon also has the seek weapon rule. After a friendly Sanctifier operative uses a weapon that has the blaze rule against an enemy operative that has 1 of your doused tokens, remove that token, even if the seek weapon rule wasn't used. This operative cannot perform this action while within control range of any operatives. So we have Purity Seals. Once per turning point, when a friendly Sanctifier operative is shooting or fighting, if you roll 2 or more fails, you can discard one of them to retain as a normal success instead. And then we have Ecclesiarchy Text. I said it right. In the ready step of each strategy phase, roll 2d6. If the result is less than the remaining wounds of a friendly Orator operative, you gain 1 CP. Note that this is done before the Gambit step. So if there isn't a valid Orator operative, you cannot use this rule during that turning point, e.g. during the first turning point. We have Imperial Cult Symbols. Once per turning point, when an operative is shooting a friendly Sanctifier operative that's benefiting from the sermon, when you collect your defense dice, you can use this rule. If you do so, change one of the attacker's retained critical successes to a normal success. Any weapon rules that have already resolved aren't affected, e.g. piercing crits. On to units, operatives. So first one we got is the Sanctifier Confessor. He's APL 2, move 6, save 5+, wounds 10. It's a Mace of Censure, which is 4 attacks, hits on freeze, damage 5/5, brutal and shock. And then his first ability is to lead the procession. Whenever this operative is an orator and performs the charge, fallback, or reposition action during its activation, you can use this rule before it moves. If you do so, determine each other friendly Sanctifier operative that's benefiting from the sermon. After this operative ends that action, each of those friendly Sanctifier operatives can immediately perform a free charge, fallback, or reposition action in an order of your choice, but each must end that move in a location where they are still benefiting from the sermon. If this operative is incapacitated before this rule is fully resolved, e.g. from the guard action, interruption, see the close combat rules, Kill Team Callbook, don't remove it from the kill zone. Confessor, continued, commanding declamation. Commanding declamation? Yeah, commanding declamation. Whenever an enemy operative would perform an action during an activation or counteraction while visible to and within 6 of this operative, you can use this rule. If you do, roll 1d6. If the result is higher than that of the enemy operative's APL stat, it cannot perform that action during the activation or counteraction. The AP spent isn't refunded. If it's a counteraction, that counteraction ends. You cannot use this rule again during the battle. So, Sanctified Cherub, 100% is not a lobotomized or servitor baby. It's got, I mean, definitely not. Definitely not. No, they're 100% vat bred, which is definitely not any better. Anyway, it's APL 2, move 7, save 5 up, and wounds 5. So he has the Incentivizer. It's 3 attacks, hits on 5s, damage 1, 3, and shock. So whenever determining control of an objective marker, treat this operative's APL stat as 1 lower. Whenever this operative has a conceal order and is in cover, it can't be selected as a valid target, taking precedence over all other rules, e.g. Vantage Train. This operative cannot use any weapons that aren't on its data card or perform unique actions other than Incentivize. So it has Incentivize as an action, it's at 1 AP, and we have support. Select one other friendly Sanctifier operative, excluding Confessor, Death Cult, Assassin, Miraculous, and Orator, visible to and within 2 of this operative until the end of that operative's next activation. Add 1 to its APL stat. This operative cannot perform this action while in control range of enemy operatives. It also has Fly. I really don't want to read this out. I hated typing it, to be honest, but I will. Here we go. Whenever this operative performs the charge or fallback or reposition action, it can fly. If it does, don't move it. Instead, remove it from the kill zone and set it back up wholly within the distance equal to its move stat of its original location, measuring the horizontal distance only. In a kill zone that uses the close quarters rule, e.g. kill zone Gallowdark, this distance cannot be measured over or through war terrain. Note that it gains no additional distance when performing the charge action. It must be set up in a location it can be placed, and unless it's the charge action, it cannot be set up within control range of an enemy operative. Blah. Okay, next. Sanctifier Conflagrator? I was saying Conflagrator, but that's blatantly not how you say it. He's APL 2, move 6, save 5 up, wound 7. He has Twinned Hand Flamers Focused, Twin Hand Flamers Torrent. So Focused is 4 attacks, hits on 2s, damage 3, range 6, Saturate, Torrent 2, and Blaze. And then the Twin Hand Flamers Twin Torrent is 4 attacks, hits on 2s, damage 3, range 6, Saturate, Torrent 0, Twin Torrent Rule, and Blaze. He also has Gun Butts. Attacks 4, hits on 4s, damage 2, 3. So Twin Torrent. Select up to 2 valid targets, shoot with this weapon against both of them in an order of your choice, roll each sequence separately. Torrent 0 means you cannot select secondary targets, but this weapon still has the Torrent weapon rule for all other purposes, e.g. the Condensed Stronghold rule. He also has Sanctification Rack. This operative can perform a Sanctification Orb action. Doing so in this manner doesn't count towards the once per turning point limit, i.e. if you also select the equipment for other operatives. We have the Death Cult Assassin next. It's 3 APL, move 6, save 5 up, and wounds 8. It's Throwing Knives, which are attacks 4, hits on 3, damage 2, 5, range 6, silent, and Ritual Braids, which are attack 4, hits on 2s, damage 4, 6. Bladed Stance. Whenever this operative is fighting or retaliating, you can resolve one of your successes before the normal order. If you do, that success must be used to block. We have the Trained Assassin action. It's 1 AP, and it changes this operative's order. This operative cannot perform this action while within control range of an enemy operative. Sanctifier Drill Abbot. APL 2, move 6, save 5 up, wound 7. There's a Great Hammer, which is 4 attacks, hits on 4s, damage 4/4, and brutal and shock. And we have the, let's have a look, let's see if I can do this. Schola Progenium Disciplinarian. Whenever a friendly Sanctifier operative is within 6 inches of this operative, you can ignore any changes to operative stats from being injured, including its weapon stats. He also has a Null Skull. Whenever an enemy operative is within 6 inches of this operative, that enemy operative's APL stat cannot be added to. Remove all positive APL stat changes it has. If an enemy operative that's more than 6 from this operative has a positive APL stat change, and your opponent spends its final AP to move that operative within 6 of this operative, this can cause your opponent to have spent more AP than its APL stat. This is permitted in this situation. Okay, next we have the Miraculous. I want to call it that, but then it kind of looks like a mirror cultist, but whatever. APL 2, move 6, save 4 up, and wound 7. Oh god, I feel like I hated writing this one out. Is this the worst one? The amount of attacks it has? I can't remember. Right, so we've got Holy Light. It's 4 attacks, hits on 2s, damage 4/3, range 8, devastating 3, limited 1, piercing 1, saturate, and blaze. Then Reeve in Fire is 4 attacks, hits on 2s, it's damage 4/4, blast 1, limited 1, reeved, and blaze. Then we have Burning Hands, it's 1 attack, hits on 2, damage 7/8, it's brutal, limited 1, blaze. And then Fists, 2 attacks, hits on 5s, damage 1/2. So we have the Reeved rule. This operative can perform the shoot action with this weapon while within control range of an enemy operative. Don't select a valid target. Instead, this operative is always the primary target, but only shoot against secondary targets, and they cannot be in cover or obscured. In other words, determine blast from this operative, but this operative isn't affected. Continued. We have Miracle. First time this operative will be incapacitated during the battle, it's not incapacitated. Has 1 wound remaining and cannot be incapacitated for the remainder of the action. All remaining attack dice are discarded, including yours if this operative is fighting or retaliating. Then this operative can immediately perform a free dash or fallback action. For the latter, it can't move more than 3 inches, even if it's performed an action that prevents it from performing the dash or fallback action. Oh, this might be the one I hated doing. So it's the Missionary. It's APL 2, move 6, save 5 up, wounds 8. It has a Brazier of Holy Fire, ranged attack. It's 4 attack, hits on 2s, damage 2/3, range 4. It has Saturate, Torrent 1, and Blaze. And we've got the Melter Gun. It's 4 attacks, hits on 2s, damage 2/3, range 6, devastating 4, and piercing 2. And there's the Minotaur Flamer. It's 4 attacks, hits on 2s, damage 2/3, range 8, Saturate, Torrent 2, Blaze. Plasma Gun. Attacks 4, hits on 2s, damage 2/3, piercing 1. Plasma Gun Supercharge, attacks 4, hits on 2s, damage 2/3, has hot, lethal 5, up, and piercing 1. We also have the option for the Brazier of Fire. Brazier of Holy Fire. I'll have to check on that one. Attack 4, hits on 2, damage 2/3, shock, and blaze. I believe that's the melee option. Chainsword, attack 4, hits on 2+, damage 2/3, and Gumbutt. 4 attacks, hits on 2, damage 2/3. So, Missionary continued, Holy Relic. If this operative has a Holy Relic, it's always benefiting from the sermon. And then you have Spread the Word of the God Emperor. Whenever this operative is more than 6 from other friendly operatives, its weapons have the Severe Weapon rule. Then next we have the Persecutor. It's APL 2, move 6, save 5 up, wound 7. Has a Hand Flamer, it's 4 attacks, hits on 3s, damage 3/3, range 6, Saturate, Torrent 1, Blaze, and an Eviscerator. Attacks 4, hits on a 5, damage 5, 6, brutal. So rules Merciless Castigation. The first time this operative performs a fight action during each of its activations, if neither it nor the enemy operative in that sequence is incapacitated, this operative can immediately perform a free fight action afterwards, but it can only fight against that enemy operative and only if it's still valid to fight against. This takes precedence over action restrictions. Also, Fanatical Retribution. If this operative is incapacitated during the fight action, you can strike with one of your unresolved successes before it's removed from the kill zone. Then we have the Reliquant. APL 2, move 6, save 5 up, wound 7. As a Hand Flamer. Attacks 4, hits on 2s, damage 3, range 6, saturate, torrent 1, blaze, and Gunbutt, attacks 3, hits on 4s, damage 2, 3. So they have the cult icon. Whenever determining control of a marker within 6 of this operative, treat the total APL stat of friendly Sanctifier operatives that contest it as 1 higher if at least one friendly Sanctifier operative contests that marker. Note this isn't a change to APL stat, so any changes are cumulative with this. Then Imperial Coat Devotion. Once per turning point, when a friendly Sanctifier operative is incapacitated within 6 of this operative, you can use this rule. If you do, before that operative is removed from the kill zone, it can perform 1 free action, excluding fight, and you can change its order to do so. It's then incapacitated as normal. Sanctifier Salvationist. APL 2, move 6, save 5 up, wound 7. It has the Soul Stave, attacks 4, hits on 5 up, damage 2, 3. So it has the conversion field. So whenever an operative more than 6 inches from this operative is shooting a friendly Sanctifier operative within 6 of this operative, improve that friendly operative save stat by 1 and worsen the X of the piercing weapon roll by 1, if any. Note that piercing 1 would therefore be ignored. And it has the Medikit, so 1 AP action, select one friendly Sanctifier operative within this operative's control range to regain 2 D3 loss wounds. This operative cannot perform this action while in control range of an enemy operative. Okay, that's it. That's all of it. That was absolutely horrible. I did not like it at all. So many words, so much typing, so many spelling mistakes, so many very hard to read names of stuff. But I'm hoping that this is helpful for everybody. Like I say, I'd probably have to go back to the Goremonger one because trying to read the slides is not very nice. But yeah, next up is, I think I've just finished building the Goremongers, so the next up for me is painting them, and then hopefully maybe I'll get to play them on the weekend. Anyway, thanks a lot guys, have a good one, see you again.